Hi, I'm the PC Expert Amateur, and we're going to take a look at a Zigmatech fan. Now, you're probably saying, well, Glenn, you started it with the A's for the 120 millimeter fans. Why aren't you doing that for the 140 millimeter fans? Well, that's exactly why I'm starting with the other end of the alphabet. Because I didn't even finish the 120s before I shifted over to the 140s to get those out. Because I know there are a lot of people looking for 140s. I would do the same for the 80s and 90s if I actually had enough of them to make it worthwhile. I've also got some slim fans, and eventually I will put those out as well. But I don't have a large collection of either of those, whereas I do have over 100 of the 140s. So I decided, since I did not get a chance to focus on the FR end of the alphabet, so to speak, I just thought I would do that with the 140s. So this is the one we're going to take a look at. It's the Crystal 140 from the CLF series. And this one is also called the CLF F1454. And as you can see by the huge gaps between the blades, this is an airflow fan. So this is not really something that's appropriate for an air cooler or a radiator, just for case. And aside from just the fan itself, which is, kind of an interesting looking relic, and this also came with, of course, the mounting screws, as most fans do. And it came with this adapter to go from a 4-pin MOXD to a 3-pin, which is what this fan has, is a 3-pin with a braided cable covering, or braided sleeve, whatever you want to call it. Let's listen to the sound. Well, I guess that starting speed is the lowest speed. It does have white LEDs. Not too noisy right now. Just a little bit of a whisper. And it sounds like a little bit of bearing noise as well. For such a slow fan, it's pretty noisy. So good airflow, bad pressure. Could be worse pressure, I have to admit. You can see how the lighting works. It's very common, or at least it used to be that style was common. Not so much anymore because people want ARGB. They don't even want RGB. They just want ARGB. Just a little tip. If you're going to buy fans with lights on them, don't buy this kind. And the reason is very simply because the lights on this kind of a fan, where there's only one cable, take power away from the fan. Yep. That means if you don't disconnect the fan lights somehow, that the fan that you have purchased with this kind of single cable system is going to be a problem. Let's go ahead and take a look at the specs. Okay, so like the previous fan, we'll see that this fan is actually suitable for both intake and exhaust. Barely suitable for an air cooler, though. Zigmatech Crystal CLF series, CLF-F-1415. And think I got too many F's in there when I said it to you. Yeah, on the hub, it also has PLA 14025, S12L, which presumably is the motor itself. It's got, yeah, I'm not really sure about that. Not a very popular kind of fan anymore. It's got lots of certifications though: CE, ROHS, UL or Underwriter Laboratories E192307, and as well the Australian EMC N696 certification. It's made in China, 140 by 25, 50,000 hours, 4 white LEDs, 140 grams of weight, 7 blades with 125 millimeter mounting distance, 1,000 RPMs max, 63.5 CFMs of airflow. So, not as good as the XSPC, but then again, it's 350 RPM slower. So that makes sense. I imagine that if this had been upped to the same level as the XSPC, they'd probably be basically the same. The static pressure on this is 1.08 millimeters of water, 16 decibels maximum, which makes it quieter than the XSPC. 31 centimeter cable that is not daisy chainable. It is sleeved, 3-pin DC, fluid dynamic bearing, 12 volts with 6 starting volts, 3.6 watts and 0.3 amps. It does have indicators of rotation and flow, turns in a clockwise direction, 4 screws. It's got the MolXD connector that I showed you, and that's all there is. I'd like to thank Grindler at Bleeping Computer for allowing me to share my videos and posts on his website. Bleeping Computer has a lot of resources, including vetted programs, malware removal instructions, malware removal volunteers, other kinds of volunteers for IT, cybersecurity information, and more. It's a great place to go. Give it a try. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day.